horses like this.
George, the lottery's coming up.
Yes.
Well, you haven't had any sort of numbers coming to you through a mist in your sleep, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It may well do. I haven't put my mind to it. I don't know whether I really want to win a lot of money. I have different priorities now.
Right, you've got different priorities. Chris, you don't help the punters, but you do help the police. And tell me how you do this, because this is extraordinary.
Well, I have had a couple of horse race dreams and winners, but the thing that really happens to me is I dream the future. And I can control those dreams, so I can ask a question. And in October 1989, I had my really first dream, and that was about some terrorists and where they were staying. And I went and told a policeman about this dream, and he said, "Oh yes, 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 very interesting."
Very interesting.
And
yes.
Go away, you nutcase, you know.
Yes.
Go back to the spirits that are in the bottles, you know.
Yeah.
And 11 days later, he was driving back from the police headquarters, and he heard on the 6 o'clock radio news that some terrorists were arrested in this particular location, and he almost crashed his car. I heard the same news, and I thought, I mean, like, how, this is nonsense, I mean. And then the police put me under surveillance.
I bet they did.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. I mean, I was the arch, you know, I mean, they don't know what they thought, but and then I had some more dreams. I dreamt of, like him here, this horse race, which was very interesting, and I dreamt of an earthquake in San Francisco, and various other things which were the news. And the police came back to me and said, "Look, I mean, this is nonsense, isn't it? You can't dream the future." And I said, "You're right, it's nonsense, but it's happening. I need an explanation." And in the beginning of 1990, we decided that every dream I had which could connect to a crime, I would fax it to the police station.
Right.
And on the 5th of January 90, I faxed to the police station a dream about a little baby girl being kidnapped from a hospital in London, and where they would find her a month later. And then I think it was on the Thursday, which was something like the 8th or the 9th, baby Alexandra was kidnapped from St Thomas's Hospital in London. Now the policeman phoned me up and said, "I mean, like, this is silly, isn't it? I mean, you know." And then the police came up to where I was living and said, "We've come to look for the baby."
Indeed.
And they searched the place, and I mean, I haven't got a baby. Well, I didn't have at that time. There was no baby there. And we waited and waited, and I went to my local church and I prayed that this would either help me or go away. And the baby Alexandra was duly found in a location which almost exactly matched what I dreamed. And then we got to February, and it was February the 19th, and I've got another dream about a bomb, and this time the voice in the dream said, "Look, to make it easy for you, we'll give you a postcode. The bomb goes off in LE1.
Right.
So I've gone back to the police station and said, "Look, you've got to listen to me, there's going to be a bomb, it's going to be this afternoon, it's going to be in LE1, wherever that is." And I left the police station after forcing them to take a statement from me. Went home, and on the 5 o'clock news, "There's a bomb in Leicester." I rang Leicester Police and said, "Your postcode isn't LE1 by any chance, is it?" And it went on from there.
Chris, I don't know if anybody here is sceptical, but Chris, I mean, I was, you know. I mean,
oh,
I heard.
Do you think I wasn't?
Yes, we did something a bit sneaky. We phoned the police in Hertfordshire because you know, this is a good show and we want to check out the guests. The police in Hertfordshire had this to say. A spokesman at Hertfordshire Police said that when Chris Robinson, the man sitting here, comes to the police with his dreams, he's taken seriously, and the information that he passes on to his established contact, that Sergeant Richard McGregor, is acted upon immediately. So these people take you very seriously indeed.
Yes, they do. I've been right with about 150 incidents in the last 5 years.
Right. Are you scared?
I was. But I've got, I mean, practice and time makes things less frightening, and I've got better at translating the dreams, and I've got more used to them coming and seeing the things that haven't yet happened.
When you say translating the dreams, so they don't happen literally, you don't see a terrorist.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get a dream, what you see is what you get. And then sometimes you get a dream where there are symbols, and the symbols have a meaning. And I think that applies to everybody here. I mean, we all dream, we all have funny dreams which really can't make sense. I mean, you're flying without an aeroplane and things like that. But there are symbols in that dream which you have a meaning for.
Right. We're going to be talking about the symbolism of dreams and what people's dreams mean in the second part of the programme. First of all, I want to see if anybody's got any questions for these men here. Would anybody like to ask George or Chris any questions at all? Yes, this lady here.
I was wondering, is there such a thing as dreaming that you're born?
Yes.
Is there such a thing that you're dreaming that you're born?
Well, I've dreamt my own birth.
Have you?
I've also dreamt of my own
Here you go,
death.
I didn't expect. Have you been talking to him before?
Yeah.
No, you dreamt your own birth.
I did have a dream of my own birth, and I was born into the room in the hospital, and this dream was in April 1990, and I thought, good Lord, why am I seeing my birth? And a couple of days later, I had another dream about dogs in a graveyard at an airbase. Now, I was born in Bushey in Hertfordshire, and right opposite the hospital where I was born is an RAF base. And the dream later went on to mean that that was bombed. And I actually got arrested at that airbase, warning them. They thought I was a bit cuckoo. And they carted me off into the guard room and gave me some severe interrogation. And then I discovered that the military police can't release you into the outside world. They have to release you into the police custody. So then I had a severe interrogation at Wealdstone police station, and they kicked me back to my car and said, I mean it's not going to be bombed, is it? I mean, this is nonsense. 4 weeks to the day that base was bombed. Now, if you want to say that that's a coincidence, say it.
Did they come back and say sorry?
No, they came back and said, where's the next one going?
Right. Are you able to decide what you want to dream? I mean, are you able to say, I want to dream about something terrible that's going to happen? You're able to do that?
We're able to do it with a percentage of accuracy. So not every time I write a question, please give me a dream that answers this, do I get the answer? But about 40% of the time, I get the answer, which is quite astounding, really.
When we come back then, you can speak to a woman who can tell you what your dreams mean, and the man who can tell you how to relive your dreams. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. We're talking about dreams. Val and Keith are here to make sense of your dreams and to explain why we dream. Val, you interpret dreams. How can you do that? How can you say that a dream that I'm having that is almost the same as the dream that somebody in the fourth row is having means the same thing?
Well, in actual fact, it probably doesn't. There are certain universal symbols that have a general meaning, but usually if you have the time, you say to the person, first of all, what does this mean to you? And you search through their life experience to find out why they're using that symbol and what it signifies for them. And if they can't come up with anything, then you use the general archetypal ideas. Now,
I was talking to the audience before we went on air today, and there was a lady here who was saying she keeps dreaming that all of her teeth are falling out. And I think that's a common one. Is Wendy on the line? Hi, Wendy.
I'm here.
Hi. Are you're having that same dream about your teeth?
I've had it a few times. Sometimes I could be talking to somebody in my dream, and then all of a sudden my teeth just all crumble and they fall out. And I've had it a lot of times. I'm just wondering if it means anything.
You poor soul, Wendy. That's a common one, Val.
Yes, it is fairly common, and there are two possible meanings for that, or possibly more than two, but the main ones are that you're coming to a point in your life where you're maturing, so your teeth are falling out in order to grow a new set.
Right.
So it's like, moving from your milk teeth to your adult teeth. Or one of the most common meanings for it is that you are talking too much. You're letting go of...
That's you, the girl here. Yes, okay.
You're giving away secrets. You're saying things that you shouldn't really be saying.